It's a light week before the lights of E3 turn on, but that hasn't stopped some developers and publishers from announcing new Switch stuff, and that's why we're still bringing you this week's lineup of new Switch games just announced. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here. We've got 6 for you today, 4 our brand new announcements, and 2 our release date updates, one of those being a Holy Grail release date update, so we'll save that one for later. First, let's go with NBA 2K19, which has been unveiled for all platforms. Thankfully, it's coming back to Switch. It was a pretty good iteration last year. Hopefully, they can tighten things up. There still is a little bit of diciness with the 20th Anniversary Edition being digital only, whereas the regular edition should be cartridge physical as well. The game looks to launch on September 11th with early access on September 7th.
Zach, the only reason I am very happy that this is coming to Switch is because we can finally have a finals that isn't Golden State and Cleveland in some way. Yes, it's in a video game, but if that's the only way we can do it to watch other basketball or play other basketball this time of year, then I'll be happy with that.
Gabe is going to have his make-believe New York Knicks versus Phoenix Suns NBA Finals.
Oh, how cool would that be?
If they can tighten up some of the visual aspects and you know, I would love the frame rate to be there. I don't know that that's going to be the case. It could be really good. It still was fun last year, and being able to take NBA 2K on the go is a good thing. At the very least, they aren't omitting the Switch from this year's iteration, so that's a positive sign. If you want another sign of how games are evolving, let's go with Carcassonne. The board game is making its way to Switch, and I actually think this is pretty darn cool. I'm a big board game player. Maybe you don't know that, maybe you do, but I love this game. It's one of the original board games that got me into more of the European-style strategy board games. I highly recommend it. It's coming winter 2018, and if it's priced appropriately, this could be a real fun one to watch out for.
Yeah, I've never played it, but Carcasonne is something that's pretty popular. You hear about it all the time in those circles. It's cool that it's coming, and the Switch is great for board games, right? Just because you can kind of just lay it down. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but if the Switch itself can be the board, that'll be interesting. Yeah,
if they implement it well, it could go over quite nicely. And the CEO of Asmodee Digital, who are bringing the game to Switch, said that Carcassonne is the first title of many to follow on Nintendo's platforms. This partnership is based on Nintendo's need for new user experiences and our continued goal of bringing great board game IP to new platforms. So that's pretty cool. And if it leads to more board games in the future and they're priced right, hey, I like board games on iPhone and iPad, so this could be a good way. Although nothing compares to actual board games. Throwing dice and moving meeples is still a pastime that I cherish. I don't want there to ever be a Fahrenheit 551 where they burn all the board games, Gabe. Please save me.
I'll save you. Don't worry about it.
Also save me from the apocalypse, because Walking Dead the final season is hitting Nintendo Switch. Now, this one comes with a bummer asterisk, which is that it's not releasing anywhere near day and date. The game is launching in August on other platforms. It looks like August 14th is the date. But late 2018 is when it's hitting Switch, and this frustrates me because I'm really looking forward to the final season of Walking Dead. I didn't like Season 3 anywhere near as much as 1 and 2. Still a cool game. It's not like Telltale is working with freaking Frostbite. Why can't they bring this thing to Switch at the same time?
I think the reason why is because they're waiting for it to all be done for Switch, before they put it on a cartridge.
Yeah.
I mean, have we seen Switch handle episodic stuff at all, carrying save files over and things like that? Maybe we have. It's a genuine question.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that has something to do with it.
It could be a structural thing. I'm not sure. I wish it was day and date because that'd be a nice get. But nonetheless, Walking Dead, the sort of choose your own adventure Telltale games. This is the culmination of that series, and it should be a good one. Hopefully, they do justice to the characters and to all the time that fans have invested whenever it launches on Switch late this year. WORKxWORK is a new retro-inspired RPG. It was just announced in Famitsu. It's coming to Nintendo Switch on September 27th in Japan. No word on an American release date at the time. I would think this would come eventually because of the ties that it has to Mother 3 and Shin Megami Tensei and a lot of beloved franchises. So the director of Mother 3 is on it. Artist from Mother 3 is on it. The composer from SMT is on it. They say it's 75% complete right now. Some screenshots were put out in the magazine. It's supposed to cost around $45 to $50, and it's launching in September.
Yeah, I'm not super sure we get it over here, right? A Mother being localized is a thing that people have, wanted for some time. This is very, very Japanese, and my secret hope is that the soundtrack to it is Rihanna's, like that one song over and over and over.
Goodness gracious. I do not want to hear work that many times. But the characters do look colorful. They do look cute. It's got a nice retro style. It's very whimsical, I would say. And maybe you're right. They did eventually get some Earthbound magic with Virtual Console, but maybe we won't end up getting this here, as Mother 3 has been rumored to come forever and never has. Although perhaps this opens the door for them to bring one and then the other as sort of a package deal. But nonetheless, it looks cool, and at the very least, you'll be able to download it off of the Japanese eShop. deBlob, Gabe. Are you a fan of deBlob? Are you a blob?
Yes to both questions.
They got a new trailer and a release date. The Paint Classic, if you will, is coming on June 26th. So filling up the last week of June once again with something pretty good. You got Crash, Mario Tennis, Wolfenstein, and deBlob. It's going to be packed. Also Lumines, don't forget that one. It's $30 on Switch. I'm surprised it's not a double pack, because there is a deBlob 2 thing that is, a newer title, but it is bringing the ability to save the world from a black and white future with a whole lot of color and a blobby main character to the Switch. It reviewed well initially. I don't know how well it'll hold up, but THQ Nordic is definitely pushing this thing to our favorite platform at the end of the month.
The game is like 10 years old at this point. It came out in 2008 on the Wii. It was Splatoon before Splatoon. I mean, not like the games aren't that similar. It's just like the color aspect, I guess, is the only thing I'm really like talking about. But yeah, glad we have a release date, and glad that the price isn't $60. Like that would have been like sort of uncool in my opinion.
Yeah, half that is a good way to go, and we'll have to see if it's still fun in 2018. All right, Gabe, we've reached the part of the show that I've been waiting to talk about, and that is Pocket Rumble. An appearance from Pocket Rumble out of the depths of the seas, the bottom of a volcano, the infinite expanse of space. Pocket Rumble is supposedly launching sometime in July or earlier. That's the latest that they're saying. The port is supposedly finished, and it is coming soon. So one of the original Switch indies that magically disappeared is now finally going to announce, or finally going to release. They're announcing that it's finally going to release.
Yeah, I mean, it's to say is a little late might be an understatement. I don't know if people were like, if people's excitement for the game like is carrying over for like this long a period. Hopefully the game's still quality. It still like finds an audience, and yeah, I guess I'm hopeful about that. It's just so weird. Like, it's such a weird story that this got announced so long ago, and then it disappeared for ages. And then
over a year.
Yeah, there's been like little updates here and there, but like it's such a bizarre situation. I'm glad that it's finally going to be released. I hope they make it happen, because them saying it's coming doesn't necessarily like mean it's coming. So
they seem pretty confident this time. They've held off. Chucklefish really likes to take their time with games, which, maybe they're all going to be great, and maybe these delays for Pocket Rumble and Wargroove are only to allow us to experience an even more incredible iteration of these titles. But yeah, within the next 55 odd days, you'll be playing Pocket Rumble on Switch if you so choose. I think my favorite from this list, Gabe, is going to be a tie between NBA and Carcassonne. I like the idea of bringing board games to the Switch platform. I think that's a nice addition to the eShop. And then NBA 2K19, if they can improve the port, I think that ends up being one of the stronger third-party games that releases this year.
Yeah, NBA 2K, they do a good job every year. I can't remember the last time they had a bad one. We have the best player in the world on the cover. Just want to throw that out there because Zach doesn't like it, but it's okay. And these games let me sort of. They let me live my fantasies of the Knicks being good. So it's the only place where I can have that enjoyment.
Yeah, it's probably hard to accomplish, I would imagine, because don't have a whole lot to work with on that squad. But hey, neither do my Pistons, so it is okay. Let us know in the comments down below which of these games you are most excited for. Running it back, it's NBA 2K19, Carcassonne, Walking Dead, the final season, deBlob, WORKxWORK, and Pocket Rumble. I'm very curious how many people are going to be playing Pocket Rumble. Like this, as you mentioned, Gabe, it's like a story, a big story for the Switch, but will it be a big story for Chucklefish, or will it just come out with a one-punch whimper? We'll have to find out. In the meantime, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and new releases like these. And follow us on Twitter and Discord. Links are in the description. We'll be at E3 all week, so you'll want to stay up to date with what we've got going on and what the Switch has got going on. For now, though, thanks so much for watching. Fantastic day. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force out.